and see some of the top college football teams next year, who are potential contenders for the college football playoff, and likely be in that top 10 mix. So I thought we'd get straight to it. One team I like, Texas A&M guys. Texas A&M. This is a team that is really on the verge of breaking through. Jimbo Fisher is a guy. I love this hire, and I was very shocked that he left Florida State because he's a guy that's got there before. He's recruited so well, and he's recruited very well at Texas A&M now. Isaiah Spiller, one of the notables back. The season didn't start off so hot. The big loss by Alabama, but it turns out Alabama was just head over heels that much better than everyone else. And Jimbo. So you got the coaching and you got recruiting, and this is a team that if it just takes one of those years to get over that Alabama hump, as Jimbo Fisher when he was in the ACC, Clemson was trying to get over Florida State. Jimbo Fisher now is on the opposite side of that. He's trying to get over Alabama because the SEC West, the road goes through Tuscaloosa, and Alabama's the cream of the crop in that division. So Texas A&M is team to watch out for next year. And Georgia, the big thing was Stetson Bennett led the way early on. JT Daniels did a good job. The transfer from USC did a great job coming in and helping this Georgia team win some games and end up beating Cincinnati in the bowl game. But Georgia, like A&M, SEC is just recruited so well. Had a little easier road getting to the championship game in recent years. It's becoming Georgia and Florida in the East, and they'll lose some key guys. Tyson Campbell, Eric Stokes in the secondary, Azeez Ojulari, but they got some guys back. George Pickens, one of the a talented young wide receiver, got some weapons there. Trying to think, is Zahir White? Is White the run? James Cook's back at running back too. Delvin Cook's younger brother. So and Oklahoma too is another team. Going by Bleacher Report's top 10, Oklahoma is another team. This is a team that just kept getting better and better on the defensive side of the ball. Alex Grinz, their defensive coordinator they brought in, has done a good job of improving this defense because this was a defense that I remember a couple years ago with Kyler Murray just was not very good. One of the worst defense to reach a championship game and the worst to reach the college football playoff. So it's good that they've shown improvement there. Ohio State obviously will be in the mix to Master Teague back at running back, and have a new quarterback who whoever that might be, obviously recruited well. Some of the best wide receiving core in the nation, Ohio State: Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. Defensive side of the ball, they have some departures, but they have some guys with experience on the defensive line, and have some guys back in the secondary. Marcus Hooker, notable one at safety. Wisconsin on the list too. The Badgers, Graham Mertz, a quarterback, will be back. And Wisconsin, they've really established themselves as one of the, most stable and consistent programs in the Big Ten for football. So, Wisconsin will be right back in the mix too. They've recruited so well, and they recruit so well in the trenches every year. So, one of the more physical teams in college football, Wisconsin will be right there. USC, obviously the big news, Caden Slovis returns at quarterback, and this is an offense that really played very well this year. This was a USC team that looked very well prepared. I think I saw Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I think USC players were really devoted to playing this season, and it really showed on the field, coming up just short in the Pac-12 title game to the Oregon Ducks. But with the exception of the 2019 class, USC, they've recruited well, and they'll always be one of the top 2-3 most talented teams in the Pac-12 year in and year out, and will likely have a good shot of repeating and winning this year. And Slovis is going to be right up as one of the top quarterbacks for the 2022 draft. Notre Dame Fighting Irish, once again, like A&M, just a well-coached and well-run program. Get a lot of hate because they're just not getting it done in the championship level games, with whether it's the playoff or the national title game if you go back a few years. But Notre Dame has recruited still pretty well, not like in at a super elite level, not at a top 5 level, but top 10 to 15 every year. And they lose Ian Book. It will be gone at quarterback, but tight end Meyer was a Michael Mayer, will return for the Irish. Very talented kid, and they'll have some pieces back for the Irish in 2022 or 2021. Miami Hurricanes. The big news is quarterback De'Aaron King is going to return. They'll lose some guys on offense, Brevin Jordan, and then Gregory Rousseau on defense. But Cameron Harris will return at running back. And this was a Miami team, I think, that was very underrated this year. If you look, if they beat Clemson, they would have been right in the discussion for the college football playoff. They lost just 3 games this year, and nearly won the bowl game. Had a chance to be 9-2 on the season. So watch out for the Miami Hurricanes next year. That'll be a team on everyone's radar. And then, of course, Alabama. Alabama is going to lose, a couple guys at receiver, but they had so many young players contribute this year. Will Anderson and Christian Harris at linebacker will be one of the top linebackers potentially for next year's draft. And Malachi Moore, and then the recruiting class they're bringing in this year, they're bringing in, just going to stay loaded at the offensive line position as they landed 2 of the top tackles coming in. Drew Sanders is a guy to watch out for on Bama, and Bryce Young. We'll see if he can take the next step at quarterback for him. So, but Alabama is going to be a team right in the mix of it, and they're not going anywhere. Likely will still win the SEC. So. So, next